This herbal tea that I bought for $7 and sold on Amazon for over $16 a unit is the first product that I can remember making at least $1,000 on. I remember how crazy it seemed that I could just buy popular name brand products from big websites and flip them on Amazon for a profit. So in this video, I'm excited to show you how to find your first $1,000 profit or more product to sell on your Amazon store. Now, I want you to have a clear picture of what the profit on Amazon actually looks like before we dive into this. So I want to show you another example of something that I made $1,000 on. You can see this was like the Stanley Cups. It was a big trend on social media and all that kind of stuff. So this is just one color that we bought and sold. We spent about $1,500 on almost 40 of these cups. We ended up selling them for over $3,000, making about $1,100 in profit after Amazon fees and our cost of goods sold on those products. And the best part you'll see on the dashboard here is it cost me exactly $0 in advertising, marketing, etc. to actually get this product sold, because what I'm doing is I buy and sell products just like this one right here that are selling actively on Amazon's marketplace, and you can buy them for a lot less on the brand's website, a big website like walmart.com, and so on. And this is actually currently live right now as I'm recording. You can see this is $50, plus we can get an extra 40% off when we buy a few units of them. After that coupon, we're going to make about $11 per unit selling this item. And what the data on Amazon shows is there's actually about 750,000 products on Amazon right now that you can sell. Amazon doesn't sell, the brand doesn't sell, and they sell about 30 times a month or more. This item right here is obviously one of them, and we can use this example to find a ton more winning products, just like the 3 winning products I've already showed you. So let's go ahead and use this specific example together to find a ton more items that are going to be profitable for your store, just so you can see how to do this process and eventually fill up an Amazon store for yourself. So what I want to do is on SellerAmp, which is the first product research tool that you'll need as an Amazon seller. The other tool you need as an Amazon seller, we already talked about a little bit with analytics, but there's also some AI sourcing assistance in here, and it will also ship products to Amazon for you. Keeping in mind, you want to keep that overhead as low as humanly possible in the start. You can grab both of those for free right now, and you can even follow along. I think that's a really good idea, because what we want to do is go ahead and look at what these people are already having success selling, because obviously if they're selling this product profitably, there's a very good chance that they're going to have other items that we can source and sell for ourselves, right? So when I'm looking at this, I like to see all the different brands that they're carrying. So it seems like they're selling a lot of that Tommy Hilfiger with that good sale going on. But one thing that actually specifically draws my attention is the fact that they're selling Kirkland products. If you don't know what Kirkland is, it's basically the private label brand that Costco sells. So Costco manufactures and sells this brand. So what this means is now we found a simple hack for finding more items that we're going to be able to sell on Amazon, because we know that these people have to be buying directly from Costco, as Kirkland is a private label of Costco, right? So let's go ahead and jump in here and see what these items are actually selling for at Costco and see if any of these can be profitable for ourselves. And the nice part about buying from something like Costco is it's obviously a very trusted big wholesaler. We don't have to worry about Amazon accepting invoices or getting ungated, anything like that. If we're buying stuff from Costco, we know that it's a legit retailer that Amazon is going to approve us to sell these products. This, for example, I can see it's going for like $15. I'm not super interested in that, since it looks like we need to actually buy this for about $7 to be profitable. You can see this is selling for about $23 on Amazon, and the black ones are selling for about $20 on Amazon. So I'm not super interested in those, just because we'd have to get like a really good discount on it. But let's keep checking out what other products does this person have here. So I know they have some kind of pants here, and it seems like the pants at Costco are $10. So that could be interesting. Let's see, on the website here, it looks like a lot of these are out of stock, except for maybe the greens there. Seems like the grays and the blacks are out of stock. And that is interesting. I wonder if this is like a very kind of reseller friendly item. It seems like a pretty solid item, right? Just this very first one, like the black size 2, which is out of stock right now. So I would probably want to watch this listing, maybe open it up once a day, once a week, however often you want to check, and see when it comes back into stock, because this is something that we're buying for $10 and it's selling for almost $50 on Amazon, about 150 times a month. That's definitely an opportunity I want to be aware of. I did notice that there were some more of those greens that were in stock. Let's see. So the biggest sizes here, this one's going for $35. So buying that for 10, not super interesting. You will also notice a lot of these like different sizes and colors will sell for different prices. So when you're looking at items that have a lot of different versions, what you can do is you can look at the variations tab on Keepa. Those 3 tools that we mentioned so far are all you need as an Amazon seller, at least getting started, by the way. So don't get super overwhelmed by the supplies list and that kind of thing. But what I can do now is I can sort this by what's the most expensive, and I can see, hey, these Kirkland brand pants, the green ones that a lot of them were in stock on, you can see that is a $50 pair of pants, and right now we can buy those for $10, right? So buying it for 10, selling it for $50, that's actually a $25 profit, which honestly, that's a lot higher profit than I typically see on most items. So I don't want to set like a false expectation. That's just like normal. Typical Amazon products are going to be about 30 to 50% return on investment. So this is definitely a really solid find, just so you're not going out there and expecting like the perfect products like this all the time. But that is also really cool to see. And we can also just keep continuing down the rabbit hole of finding other smart Amazon sellers and seeing what else they're having success on. So this sourcing method is infinitely repeatable. Just for the sake of kind of consistency, I want to go back to this other store we already started from and see what other products we might be able to scoop up here. But obviously we've already hit on a potential product. Maybe that's going to be that one that becomes that first $1,000 profit for you. But if it's not, no worries. You can always buy 5 or 10 units, wait for those to sell, and restock as you go. The other thing I'm looking for as I like to source for products is just make sure that the items I'm looking at sell fast enough to be interesting, to make it worth managing in my store, that kind of thing. So on these items, for example, I see this only sells 12 times a month, 10 times a month. Usually I'm looking for stuff that sells at least 30 times a month. So I want to go ahead and scroll past a lot of this. And it seems like a lot of their store is full of just some slower selling items, which is fine, but that's not personally my jam. I do see more of these pants though. So this is definitely something that I want to be aware of. And the nice part about using this method for finding profitable products is now that we have kind of one example of a winning product that you know is only bought at a specific retail store, we know everyone on this listing is reselling. Therefore, all the products they sell are a potential lead for us to go ahead and dig a little bit further, right? So you can see, for example, this Amazon seller has lots of different brands. Right now, I'm recording this with the holidays coming up. So maybe you want to source specifically just like some toys and games, see if those are profitable at all. I do see some like blind boxes or something here. You got tons of different like blind boxes being super popular right now. So I'm sure those are going to be absolutely flying during Q4. I would assume these are probably out of stock like everything else collectible. Yeah. And those are also just very odd, very interesting thing to collect. But in this example, obviously we can go ahead and just look at specifically toy products if we want to start stocking up for the holidays here. We can also start looking at brands that, again, you've seen at other local retail stores like Izod here. I think this might be a Walmart brand, or it's at least one that I see at Walmart, like other discount retailers, that kind of thing. Let's just do some quick research here and see if we can find any of these profitable. I just want to show you a couple different examples here, and then you're going to be able to run with this and start sourcing some stuff for yourself. What do we got? We got these jeans, classic fit jeans right here. It seems like Belk has some of them, and then I do see them at Walmart. That's just where I've seen them before. Yeah, so Walmart and Belk seems to be where we can source a lot of these. Let's see, let's go ahead and open up this listing here. Let's see, we got some jeans right here. One thing to avoid when you are sourcing products to sell on Amazon, make sure you're buying directly from like Walmart or the big websites, that kind of thing. This is sold by a third-party seller. The documentation isn't quite as trustworthy if you're trying to get approved to sell those brands, or you just want to make sure you're going to be covered in case Amazon wants to see any documentation or any proof, anything like that. I would go ahead and avoid that. Looking at the listing on these pants right here, I think those are different from the jeans that we started from, but this is still a good example of a slightly different way we can dig for some profit here. So when I click the SellerAmp Chrome extension, what it's going to do is it's going to automatically grab the brand and title from the website and search that for me. So I can see if I want to find these stretch pants or whatever here, see if there's a listing that is decent. See, 5 pocket, 1 sale a month, performance. Let's check this out because it sells 300 times a month. And then we can also see if they have the right color. So I know they have navy, and this is where I like to look at the variations again. So let's go to variations and just try to filter out this specific color. And to do that, I want to go to variations, click color right here. And then I know we have navy. So let's go ahead and punch in navy, select that. And now I think we have the items we're looking at. Let's see. So 32. So now we just got to make sure we have the right sizes and stuff. So on this listing, we have, let's see, 32, just some random ones here. Let's see, are any of those popping up at a decently high price? Let's see, 34.30, 34.32. You'll see I'm looking at the prices on this list right here, and you can see this one actually sells for $40 on the website here. These are $23.85. So these are not profitable at the moment. What we can do though is we can go ahead and ask the Amazon Seller AI assistant if we can make these more profitable. So let's go back over to Boxem and click Boxy AI. And then I'm going to say, I found an item at Belk, but I need about 15% off to make this item profitable. Are there any discounts that I can include to make my profit? And now what it's going to do is it's basically going to search everything that Boxy knows about selling on Amazon. It's basically an AI that's especially trained to help you make money on Amazon. So in this case, it's saying we might be able to get a 12% discount buying from Cardbear or GCX. So let's go ahead and check that out. So Cardbear right here, this is just a gift card marketplace. And what I want to do is go ahead and ask Cardbear what discounts there are on discounted gift cards. So it seems like right now it's 8.6%. It seems a few days ago it was at 12%. So that's probably what it was referencing there. So in this case, we would be able to get 8.6% off. The way these discounted gift cards work, by the way, is you basically just go in here. Let's say they're selling a $100 gift card for, in this case, whatever that math works out to be, $92, $91, something like that. So we immediately make a little bit of money buying some discounted money. In this case, I don't think it's going to be as much of a discount as we need, because we can go in here and subtract 8.6% 0.5%. So here we can see that would make the profit a little bit higher. Meets my ideal. Usually I want to make at least $3 profit, but the ROI is not quite high enough. And especially on something like clothes, where customers are obviously frequently returning clothes, we want to make sure our profits are nice and high. So on this specific example, it seems like this pair of pants was a little bit of a strikeout, but you can always just go ahead and reference Boxy. If you're not quite sure how to make something profitable, it can usually tell you how to make it more profitable. One last thing we can do on a lot of websites is check and see if there is a sign up code. So there is actually a sign up code on this website. So all you would need to do is just like plug in your email. And then in some websites, we can get like a percentage discount. Only getting $10 off, that would make it annoying to have to like place this order over and over again with a bunch of $10 off coupon codes. So I'm not probably going to mess with that. Some websites you'll see if you plug in your email, they give you like a 15% off code and so on. And that can make a lot of items that weren't profitable into ones that are profitable. But at this point, hopefully it's somewhat obvious how to find just a ton of winning items like this pair of pants we were looking at earlier, how to find items like this polo here. Simply a game of looking through other Amazon seller storefronts, seeing what they're having success with, and maybe even a little bit of bonus points if you can figure out that specific brand that they're selling is already on sale today. Once you do purchase those profitable products and have them in hand, some brands Amazon will require approval for you to sell on Amazon. When you go and list those products on Amazon through Boxem, it'll tell you if you need approval or not. And if you do end up needing approval, just go ahead and submit the invoice from whatever website you bought it from. As long as it's a legit website, Amazon will accept that as an invoice and you'll be able to sell that brand. Also keep in mind, it's normal to have to submit that information multiple times. Amazon's been pretty careful lately on who they're letting sell new brands on Amazon. Just make sure you're showing them legitimate documents and you will get approved. And then for your final step, after you have these profitable products that are ungated, all you need to do is list them on Amazon using Boxem. And that's also how you will format the shipping off to Amazon, buy your shipping labels, and then eventually track the profits. It'll all show up on Boxem as you sell. But now you know exactly how to find your first profitable products to sell on Amazon. That's still how I like to do things about 6 or 7 years into my Amazon journey. So if you're excited to get into it for yourself and start a side hustle that works, make sure you grab a 2-week free trial of SellerAmp and Boxem down below. Those are the softwares that we actually need to run the business. And then also while you're down there, drop any questions, comments, just want to say hi, let me know who's watching this video, and it would be a super big help if you want to hit the subscribe button, help me get a little 100k YouTube subscriber plaque. But I really appreciate you watching this video, and if you want to see a ton more detail, I made you a 4-hour long complete step-by-step course. Go ahead and click this video right here.